please say your name and who you're with?
Medea Benjamin with Code Pink.
And so how long have you been here, Medea?
I've been here since October 6th when we started here on Freedom Plaza. And it's been a great experience with people coming in from actually all over the country because this is, after all, the center of power and creating a community right on Pennsylvania Avenue. In fact, if you look down there, you see the Congress, and if it weren't for these trees right here, you would see in the other direction the White House. So it's pretty remarkable to be on such a main thoroughfare in the nation's capital and be able to pitch a tent.
Yeah. Why are you here?
I'm here because I originally came, it was after the occupation of Wall Street began in New York, and I was really inspired by what I saw there. And I knew this was happening with the first call was going to be marking 10 years of the war in Afghanistan. And the two things to me really merge because so much of what we're suffering from is corporatism, and the military-industrial complex is one of the biggest sectors of that. So I think here our message is very clear that we say we are the 99% and we are against Wall Street's policies and wars.
What are you for?
We are for an economic system that puts the needs of the population first and of the planet, and we're for building communities where people learn to live together and share their expertise and their energies, and we're for a country that treats other countries with mutual respect and believes that diplomacy is the top thing on the list and doesn't go to war on the base of lies like we did in Iraq.
Right, especially with have you heard of these stories about Iran emerging right now about a terrorist
Right, which makes absolutely no sense, but boy, you know, the media loves to jump on that and beat the drums of war again. And I'm also very concerned about the new warfare of this century with robots and drones and what that means in terms of the morality of the U.S. government and an agency like the CIA that isn't even a military but a civilian agency being able to have its own hit list and go wherever it wants, a country we're at war with like Afghanistan, or a country we're allies with like Pakistan, and be able to drop bombs and play God and decide who shall live and who shall die.
Can you say anything about the nonviolence that you're seeing in this movement as it's emerging, and what have been some challenges to making this a fully nonviolent movement?
Well, I've been extremely pleased with the way this movement is evolving. I was very involved with the anti-globalization movement that built up around these same economic issues, but culminated in the World Trade Organization meeting in Seattle. And there we had huge divisions about whether it was okay to bust windows and whether it was okay to target Starbucks and McDonald's because they were the evil corporations. I think this movement is much more mature and understands that that kind of thing, whether you think it's okay or not, it doesn't help build a movement, and that a commitment to nonviolence gives us the upper hand and makes it a movement that is much more warm and welcoming to people who have children and want to bring their children, to older people, to disabled people, and to people who have immigration issues that they can't be arrested and want a safe space. So I think there's a lot of consideration for that. There's also a totally different way of communicating in this movement that is very different from what we've had before, and the whole idea of General Assemblies where people can walk in off the street and have the same voice as somebody who's been, you know, doing this work for a long time is beautiful, because we obviously need new ideas and new energy, and the way to open it up is to let people find their voice and discover their own leadership abilities and understand that we are all leaders.
Any last comments you'd like to make for the public of the Medea Center and beyond?
I think there's, for people who are from the Bay Area where I am from but moved here, there is such a sense in the Bay Area of waiting for this moment to come, that people have been practicing similar kinds of things in the Bay Area for a long time, but felt that they were sort of out of the mainstream. And here in Washington, when we would do demonstrations. There would be folks from the Tea Party would say, "Go back to Berkeley, go back to Berkeley." Like that was such a terrible thing, like saying go back to Russia.
Yeah.
And now I think that a lot of the issues that we have been dealing with, like how do we have a food system that is based on delivering good, healthy food to people and not on money for corporations? How do we have a banking system that allows people to show their entrepreneurial spirit instead of just being geared towards the 1%? That there are a lot of great models that we have come up with, and that those have to spread around the country now. And so this is the moment to let 1,000 flowers bloom.